Alright, so this favourite album cover is one that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it got hurried along by the recent death of Ozzy Osbourne, but I didn't want to do it immediately because I didn't want to be either seem to be cashing in on it, or just the fact that everything getting lost in the noise. Because obviously, as my YouTube feed will attest, there's a lot of stuff going on about the death of Ozzy, which is quite understandable. He was um, this him being in this band, this whole band, absolutely 100% changed music. There are a few people who have changed music more profoundly than Black Sabbath did. In fact, there's only really two that I can think of, and um, that's Elvis and the Beatles. So an entire genre of music exists because of this band and this album in particular. And this cover's great. It's very It's obviously designed to be very creepy. The way the color filters as well, and how this woman looks, and just how creepy this mill looks. In fact, I remember when I was a kid, before I'd even seen this album cover, there was actually this kind of bracken on the ground, and a whole building just looks creepy. There was a bit of land next to my primary school that looked a bit like that, which everybody thought was looked a bit scary. And when you're like that young, it's like there's a witch lives there, and this is just basically an album cover that really personifies that. Now, there's a little bit of information about it because I have here a thing here saying the story behind it, and it's not really. It will links to a feature interview, and it was the artist was a photographer called Keith McMillan, and the model, the witchy woman who graces her artwork with mysterious stare, is a woman called Louisa Livingstone. And the way see this, a good way of looking, at this picture, it's almost like how the Mona Lisa should have looked, really. Um, So it's like I said, the coloration of it, how creepy it looks. I'm using one from the screen from pictures I've got linked on the internet because my copy of Black Sabbath's first album isn't this actual full. It's not an individual release. What I got was when I was about 16 for Christmas, I got a box set of like about the first 6 or 7 Sabbath albums, and obviously this is in it, but it's not the the full deluxe because it's the full deluxe um, uh, pressing. So as you can see from the next picture in here, mine didn't have this. It might have had this on the back. I can't remember. I'd have to go and have my box set and have a look, but I think it just had on the maybe it had some version of this, but on the back, but it had like the song titles. It didn't have this on the inside. This little piece of artwork with like the inverted cross with all the information inside, and it has some kind of poem on there, which I don't know where this comes from, or just sort of a bit of text. So it didn't say about the band name, names of the band members. When here they've spelt um, Ozzy's name wrong. It says album design photographed by Keith. I don't know if this is actually the original pressing or if it's just. It doesn't even say who really put it out. May have been Warner Brothers. I can't remember. We got the song titles in here as well, and this is all just fitting in with the horror motif they have. I mean, even the logo here looks a bit medieval almost, and sort of like something from a horror poster. So it basically the band set out to make a form of scary music because of them when they were a blues band wait for rehearsal and the bass player saying, "Isn't it funny how people go to watch films to make themselves scared? Why don't we do that to music?" And after that, the song Black Sabbath was born, and then they changed the name from Earth to Black Sabbath, and they decided to come up with all the other um, songs based on it. Although I believe, I think it's this one, Evil Woman. Um, Although I put the title Evil Woman Don't Play Against Me, I believe that was a cover, one of the songs was a cover version. I think it might be Evil Woman. In fact, I can look it up. Evil Woman, Black Sabbath. Originally sang Evil Woman. It's sung by a band called Crow. So yeah, that's actually a cover version. So which is strange. The only thing it's the only cover version they've ever done, I think. Um, so here's it. It was not officially released in North America until 2002, when it was included on the compilation album Symptoms of Universe, the original Black Sabbath. That's strange, actually. Um, Covered in 1969 by Black Sabbath, first released in England, band's first single in 2nd January 1970. The song appeared on the original version of the band's self-titled debut album, although it was replaced by its B-side on Wicked World on the later American versions of the album. When the band's debut album started to become successful in the UK, the song was re-released. It's very strange. But yeah, so it's a great album cover. There you go, and more information. I remember the model, so I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculously early as that. It was absolutely freezing. I remember Keith rushing around with dry ice, throwing that into the pond nearby, and that didn't seem to be working very well, so we were using a smoke machine. But it was just one of those very cold English mornings. But it being a cold English morning, they probably didn't need the dry ice. She brought a taxidermy. He brought a taxidermy crow, a live cat to the shoot, the latter of which he swears is pictured in Livingstone's arms, although she has no memory of the cat. When I saw the cover, it was quite interesting, but I thought, well, that could be anybody, so it's not like I got any kind of ego buzz out of it. So that's all about that. I'm not going to go with the old um, story of it. People say they can see a cat in her arms, but I don't think you can. Let's try and zoom in a bit. It's not going to. The quality is not going to be fantastic. But I don't see a cat, although maybe some people are mistaking these bits of leaves for cat's eyes. I don't know. But no, I don't see a cat in her arms. Like I said, this is absolutely iconic cover. This is one of the things that people talk about when they stop talking about how great the music is. There's a stuffed crow. So, and that adds to the creepiness as well for anyone who's later on. I mean, crows are creepy anyway. But anyone you see later on seeing things like the second Omen films, either crows or ravens, blackbirds in general are big, huge blackbirds. So, um, yeah, so this is all great. This is probably, with the possible exception of like Sabotage or Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, this is probably the best of their album covers. Um, so let me know what you think. I mean, also the Sabotage one is one I'll probably go into in the future as well, because of just the weirdness of it. So let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. My link tree, my description has my link tree in it, which is my merch links on my socials. You have my also a link to my Patreon and a link to the where you can buy the book of my artwork. And I shall speak to you soon. Thank you.